In this video, we'll be taking a look at the Baseball Sport app. The Baseball Sport app differs more than any of the other apps based on the information needed in baseball. Since there's no period information, rather inning information, it can be controlled in this section here. We can also take a look at the box score information in this panel and the RHE, your runs, hits, and errors. To display the RHE graphic, we can simply click preview and we can go from the score bug to the RHE bug. Below that is our counts for balls, strikes, and outs, total pitch count for that particular team, base running information, our pitch speed that can be ingested through a radar gun or manual entry. A new addition to the app is our pitch clock. Here we can decide when to display the pitch clock when it's under a certain value, how long to hold the last value before it's taken down, and when we want to create a highlight to show after a certain value. For run information, we can go in increments of 1, 2, 3, and 4. By going in increments of 1, you'll see the score change by 1. If we want to highlight a home run, for instance, we can toggle the fanfare. Clicking on the 3-dot icon, we can come in here and turn on the fanfare, and now if I go in increments of 1, you'll see there's a home run animation added to the graphic. To the right of that is our do-ups, so the moment we have roster information, we'll be able to cycle through the do-ups. Another big feature inside this Baseball Sport app is the ability to toggle the feed to come in from our controller, manual entry like I was doing a second ago, or we could also bring in information from the plugin feed or the stat feed. If you decide to toggle it from the stat feed, it'll be using this PL or plugin information. We can toggle it to manual or plugin, and in some cases we can even do that scoreboard feed. In the event that you're bringing it in from the stat or plugin information, all the information will be automatically added for you. For instance, do-ups will be changing accordingly based on that information. Also in the plugin section is the ability to do our radar gun setup as well as our pitch clock information. Clicking in the options will allow you to select the protocol with the type of connection, what port, and additional information on there, and we'll get a status as to whether or not it's connected. And the last big feature inside the Baseball Sport app is the ability to do seasonal stats. If we head over into our stat editor, we'll be able to see our stat grid. These first stats are going to be all within the game. If I scroll to the right, we'll eventually start to see some stats with the prefix of a $sign. That $sign indicates that those are seasonal stats. So in order to show seasonal stats, we can do $sign AB to show at-bats for that specific season for that specific player. This video, we'll be taking a look at the Football Sport app and how it differs from the other apps. Specifically in football, we have support for down and distance, flag, penalties, challenges, and ball on. In this video, we'll be looking at the Hockey Sport app and how it differentiates from the other sport apps. Specifically in this section here, you'll find game situations such as delayed penalties and empty net for each corresponding team. We also have the ability to do shootouts similar to soccer. This section below will have the ability to do penalties such as minor, double minor, and major. Penalized player, goal scorer, player stats, and team stats can also be located in this section if the graphic is supported. Another big advantage inside the Hockey Sport app is the ability to change the labels for each of our penalties. Right now, our labels are set to default and will give us our hockey default penalties. For instance, if I give it a minor, we're going to see power play. If I come into the settings panel, I can change the way I want those penalties to be displayed in this sport text section here. For instance, I've already typed in and modified a lot of these penalty situations, for instance, for men's lacrosse and women's lacrosse. I can come into the men's lacrosse and edit that information so you can see what has been changed. For 5-on-4 in the UI, I've labeled it man up. For 5-on-4 on air, which is the information the viewers will see at home, also says man up. So we went from power play to man up utilizing this section. So if I come back into the UI and I incur a minor, we'll see that label is no longer power play and has now been switched to man up. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the soccer sport app and how it differs from the other apps. Located here in the center, you're going to find a location for stoppage time. Then we'll have a location for penalty card and substitutions located to the right. This particular sport app also supports shootouts utilizing this tab here. Here you can enable shootouts and you can start your shootouts in this panel here. If you need to swap the teams from top to bottom, you can utilize this icon here depending on the order of which team is allowed to go first.